It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Planet MFL video where we go to the MFL universe and we talk about my journey with AFC Amreezy in the MFL universe. I'm a new MFL player. Season 5 has just started, so if you've never played MFL before, you're curious about MFL, it's really fun. Stay tuned to the channel. I'll be documenting my journey. I was thinking of doing these videos once a week. I was like, I'm going to do once a week videos on MFL. Just document my journey, my progress in the game, what I'm learning, what I'm having fun with, the things I need help with. But I think it might be more than once a week, these videos. At the moment, there's no schedule. It's whenever I just have updates and updates. And the game is so well designed. There's just constant progress, constant updates, constant things to be looking forward to. So we might be doing these MFL videos more than once a week. If you like the sound of that, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Because that's what it encourages me to make the videos. If I get lots of love on the MFL videos, I'll make more of them. If I get more videos on other videos, I'll make more. It's that simple. It's that simple. So how I left it last video is I showed you, I think I opened some packs, my pack drop packs, and I showed you the players that I'd bought so far. If you'd like to see that, go into the last video so you can see how those pack openings. I got 2 really nice players that I then loaned out. So since then, Season 5 has started. A bit of a tricky start for me. I'll get into how I started later. Not great the first game. And then the transfer window's closed. So we can't sign any more players. We're locked in with our squads. So I'll show you my final squads. They're fairly similar to last week's video. I haven't signed many players, but I'll just run through my squad quickly. And I'll show you how I've done in my first 2 videos. And I need help. If you're an MFL pro, please help your boy Amreezy out. He's new to MFL. He doesn't know what he's doing, especially with tactics. I tweaked my tactics in MFL all preseason. I was playing friendlies, doing what I saw everyone on Discord saying to do, play the same team over and over again, tweak your tactics. But as soon as the season started, tactics went out the window. It all went wrong. And I think it's much harder actual games because maybe the other managers are seeing what tactics you play and are putting different formations against you or tweaking the instructions. I still don't know about tactical instructions. I'll get into all of that, but basically drop some help if you are an MFL expert or even pro, or even if you played 1 day more than me, you're a pro in my eyes. So let's start now by jumping into the world of MFL and looking at the players that I bought, my finalized squad before the transfer window closed. Okay, here we go. These are, I mean, me as an agency rather than a club. These are all of my players that I own in the Amreezy agency. So we had our top 3 players, which have all been loaned out. Thank you for the comment in last video where someone did tell me I could have got more rev share for, I think, my goalkeeper that I sent out. Next transfer window, next season, I'll be a bit more ruthless with my rev shares and try and max out my rev shares maybe that players are loaned out. But 3 best players have been loaned out. Annoyingly, we're only like 2 or 3 games into the season. 2 games for me. Very frustrating. I didn't have a game on the first day of the season when everyone else had their first game of the season. I think because of late registrations, I didn't get a game. So it was really frustrating for me. Had all that excitement for MFL. First day of the season, I was like, yes. And then I was like, I don't have a fixture. I have a game. So I've played 2 games. Whereas most other teams have played 3 games. But yeah, after 2 games, Del Rio, my best loan guy, hadn't been played by this guy, Bakaloco, I think. He hadn't been played. He's not playing him. But Alfonso and Luis had played, especially Luis. Can we see performance? Yeah, you can see here. So Luis, my goalkeeper, 18-year-old goalkeeper, he's doing really well. He's got 8.3 rating average. That's very nice. So he's doing well. Alfonso, okay, he's got an assist and he's got a 6.7. But this guy hasn't been played. Now, I don't really know. I don't like that because I don't really care about the rev. I'm going to get a chunk of rev share if he doesn't play in 15 games. So I guess I'll make money if he doesn't play him. But I want him to play because he's like 22 years old. I want him to progress. And if he doesn't play any games this season and this guy has bought him just to be backup, I might have to rethink my loan strategy. And is it worth me just keeping him in the club? And like, even though he won't train well because he'll be too advanced, at least I'll be playing him. So will the XP from him playing with my team be better than him being in a training with a better team, but not getting match time, if that makes sense. I'm wondering if that's a good strategy. So maybe I should have just kept this guy. He would have been an amazing striker in the Spark League. And yes, his training XP would be harmed by him being too good. But will his match XP? I need to look into all of that. But I won't worry about that until a few more games when I see what this manager's strategy is. But if you're watching Balakako, come on, play my boy Del Rio. Get the river out. So yeah, my best 3 players have been loaned out. Also, my worst players were all loaned out. I put them on 0% rev share and 1% appearance fee because they're so bad, nobody wanted them. I reduced them down to that much. And then Milo's White Walkers took 3 of them, and Stralsund took Big Lambrecht. So all of my players are now either loaned out or in my squad. And then my squad players are all these guys from 61 rated to 48 rated, because it takes in the top 16. The average of the training is the top 16. And also, this doesn't include the loan players. So I've got a few loan players at 62, and I think 60, and maybe another one at 61. So all of my loan players are... I think we can go and look at my club now. All of my loan players make the average of my squad quite nice. If we go into overall rankings, we go 62. So our top 16 players are all between 54 and 62. So if you remember last video, I was saying I want to keep my the gap, I guess, in numbers like 10. I don't want to go above 10 so that my top guys training isn't harmed too much. It is harmed a little bit because 62 guys are training with 54 guys. So they are losing a bit of XP potential, but it's not too much. And like I said last week, it was too expensive for me to try and make a team within like a 5 overall rating band difference. So I've gone for a 10 overall ranking difference, which, we'll see how it goes. Also, my top guys are mainly loan guys. So I don't mind too much that they're not progressing that as much as they could, because they're not my players. So I'm not as invested in them. They're good enough for my team. And then, yeah, there are a few here, though, who are mine, like Butcher, the captain number 9, Butcher. He is one of mine, and he is being harmed slightly by training, but not a lot, I don't think. If we go to observations, he's training well, but could advance slightly faster. And it's a green arrow. There are players where it's a red arrow down, saying they need to be training with better players. So I'm viewing that as I don't need to change my strategy in terms of the quality I've gone for. And I've gone for a squad of 23 players. It's 22 really, because I've got 3 goalkeepers, and the third goalkeeper I don't think I'm ever going to play. So basically, I packed this 18-year-old goalkeeper who I got very excited about because he was 18, I think the youngest player in my squad. And then I had this better goalkeeper who's 53 rated. And then I had another goalkeeper I packed who was 19 years old, but a very bad score, 36. So this 36 guy is just in the squad to hopefully develop with training. I don't know if he's going to get much game time. And the other 2 goalkeepers are probably going to rotate, cup and league. And then I've got same formation, but I've got a backup for every position, basically. I've got a starting 11 and then a backup for every position. So I don't think I signed anyone new for my team. The star players are my strikers. I've got this guy, the Butcher. He's my captain, the Butcher, 24 years old striker. He's captain, shooting 64. He looks good. And then I also signed another striker who I like the look of, Bayram Koka. He's 22 years old. I think I signed him for $1 more than Butcher. So this guy might be my record signing, $12. And he's got 60 shooting. He's been developing nicely. So I've got these 2 strikers who are kind of my headline acts. I've got a couple of loan guys from Apollo Sports Group and Premier Football Agency. They've helped me. And Neko Fries. So I got some loan guys in from them. And then that's my team. Now I'm worried about a goalkeeper, strengthened goalkeeper, because I didn't probably get a good enough goalkeeper. If we look at my tactics, if you look at my average rating, 63, 58, 54, 61, they're all around 60 or high 50s. This guy's 54 and this guy's 54, but they're both really young. So I'm kind of playing these 2 guys to kind of give them match experience. And then the goalkeeper is a bit of a problem for me. So in the first, let's get to the reviewing the games. The first game of the season, we played a team who we should have beaten. This is the projection. This is my projected league positions. I'm predicted to finish mid-table. There's 12 teams in my league. I'm predicted to finish 6th. And the first game of the season, I played these guys, MFC Vulture, who I have a better squad than. So I thought I'll play my A team. I've got a better squad than them, better ratings. Surely I'm going to win. And I lost. And I don't quite still know why. We'll get to that. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get promoted probably this season. So instead, I'm going to focus on just player progression, playing young players. Annoyingly, I thought I had a young team. I thought I've got a really good young team. But if we look at here, the average age of the squads, I have the joint oldest squad in the league. My average age is 23, and this guy's age is 23. Everyone else is younger than ours. That's ridiculous. So we're predicted to finish mid-table, which is okay. I don't mind that. A mid-table finish would be okay for my first year, and I'm still learning the tactics. So first game of the season, this is where I don't think I'm getting tactics right. Because first game of the season, I had a better team than my opposition in like every area, but he beat me. Let me show you. So we played MFC Vulture first. We played Vulture. We lost 3-1. And I had a better XG, 1.83 heap, 1. So I was thinking maybe it's because I'm wasteful. Maybe my strikers aren't good enough. But this guy's strikers, if we look at his numbers, this guy's strikers are 52 and 53 rated. My strikers are 63 and 56 rated. So I have better. And like all of his numbers, he's got 49 defenders, 52, 49 in midfield. I've got 63 in midfield, 62 defenders. So I thought I had a much better team than him. So I thought I should win. And I tweaked my tactics in pre-season, a nice simple tactic where I didn't have many instructions, had it quite simple. That seemed to be working for me in pre-season. Soon as we start the season, boom, defeat, 3-1. So I looked at my ratings and I thought, okay. And I also looked at the goals I conceded, and there wasn't anything obvious in the goals I was conceding. Like there wasn't in all of the goals, except for maybe the goalkeeper's not good enough. That's the only kind of... All the goals kind of came from different places. Like this is a cross, a flick on. Unless that's bad goalkeeping, because I've not played MFL long enough, I don't understand the animations of the characters. So I don't know if that's a bad goalkeeping move. But it didn't seem to be an obvious defensive error. Here we lose the ball from Boucher, maybe in midfield. Is that the problem? And then they play a ball over the top, and the defender scores. Again, not quite sure what we could have done better. So I didn't see anything I could spot I'm doing wrong in the goals. There's one more goal. If you can spot something I'm doing wrong, this is my goal from the Butcher. This is their goal, is it? This is their goal. So we gave a foul away. Are we playing too aggressive? These are the things I'm trying to think about. But again, so one goal came from a cross throw in from the wing. One guy came from a through ball over the top. And then the third goal came from them kind of playing around outside the box. A cross comes in, flick on, and my send cam is marking the defender. Not sure why. So I couldn't find anything wrong, except for if you look at my ratings, what I did was I went, right, I'm going to, for my second game, change something. I have to change something. I don't know if that's sensible, because I don't know if I've played enough games for me to have enough data to say, okay, this is where we're struggling. But I quite like the idea. I'm an impulsive person. I am very reactive. I get angry. I need to change things. So I looked at my team and I was like, right, who did bad? These guys all did okay. Green scores from here on the left. Fine, happy with that. Slightly concerned, I mistakenly played Lucy. Lucy shouldn't be playing because I've got a guy on loan. But Lucy had such a good rating. I was like, he's the same rating as my loan player. So I was like, you know what? I might just have to pay the fine for that loan player because Lucy's mine. I bought him and I want him to develop. Whereas the loan guy, it's only like a 1% I have to pay extra, I think, if I don't play him for 15 games. Also, he might play cup games. He may be rotated, so he may still get the 15 games. I may swap them in and out, basically. But Lucy was mistakenly played, and then he did well. So I was like, okay, maybe that loan guy's not going to play much. And I like that he's mine, and he's developing quite nicely. His stats are going up. I'll show you my development as well in a bit. So Lucy did well, so I kept him. So basically the goalkeeper was the worst player on the team. And Roques is my best rated goalkeeper, but he's still terrible, 53 rated. 53 rated goalkeeper. So what I thought was I'll change him for the 18-year-old, the orange tree, Naranjo. I thought maybe we'll give Naranjo the second game because if I'm going to have a bad goalkeeper, I may as well have a young bad goalkeeper. This guy's 26 and he's like, maybe he's not going to progress much, but my other goalkeeper has more of a chance of progressing because he's 18. So I thought that's what I'm going to change for my second game. I'm going to stick with the same formation, stick with the same tactics, and just change the goalkeeper. Because if we look at my tactics, this is, let's organize it by overall ranking. So this is these are all of the positions filled, and this is by overall ranking. So this is how it was. The goalkeeper was this guy, Rockets. So if you see my overall rankings, basically my goalkeepers are going to be the worst players anyway. So Rockets was my goalkeeper in the first game, and he was the worst ranked player, overall rated player. So I thought, why not make him even worse? And then my goalkeeper is still the worst player in the team, but at least it's an 18-year-old who could use that match experience and develop nicely. So that was my thinking. I thought if the goalkeeper makes a whole bunch of mistakes in the second game, I'll then put Roques back in goal. That was my tactic. Second game, we won. So, and that's just happened now. Before I'm recording this video, we just played that game and we won. And Roques had a good game. Roques had a good game. He did make a mistake for one of the goals, but we won 3-2. And if we look at here, my ratings, look at that, Naranjo, the orange tree, 7.2. So even though he made a mistake for one of the goals, I think it was... we were losing this game 2-1 as well. And I was like, what am I doing wrong in this game? I'm never going to win a game. I think this goal was the one he may have made. It looks like him. Again, I don't fully understand the animations of this game, so I don't know if I'm reading too much into that. But this looks like a goalkeeper mistake. Because he just seems like he's so far off his line. And then they kind of have an open net almost to score. So I thought maybe that's his mistake, possibly. But he made a lot of saves. And at this point of the game, he was a 5.5 rated player. But towards the end of the game, he got a 7.2 rating. And if we look at shots saved, 4 saves. He made 4 saves. And shots off target, shots on target. So our XG was quite similar to these guys. So we were a little bit lucky maybe to win this game. So something's not quite right with my tactics, I feel like. Because this team as well, Jinx 11, we should have won. Where are Jinx 11 in the projections? Jinx 11, oh, they're actually predicted to finish above us. But I feel like I looked at their squad and it was lower than mine. Like if we look at their ratings, 57, no, not many. Their defense has got some 60 rated players, but the rest of their team is 50 rated players, whereas mine, 60 rated players scattered amongst 50 rated players. So I thought I had a better lineup than him. But as I'm seeing, overall ratings and just having better overall rated players isn't as decisive. And I think tactics might have a bit of problem. So let's now look at my tactics, and if anyone has any tips and advice on what I'm doing wrong or what I can improve, let me know. Let's have a look at my tactics right now. Okay, here we are in the tactics hub, and this is kind of the tactics I settled on in pre-season because of the players that I'd signed, but also I tried a few formations and they weren't really working, and then this formation just seemed to do better with my players. But after the first 2 games of the season, now I'm thinking, should I have gone for some different tactics? I think it's too late, though. I think because of the players I've signed, especially I've not gone for wingers. I've gone for right midfielder and left midfielder, and they're on loan, and I want to play them. So I think I'm going to have to play this formation. So any instructions, if I'm doing anything wrong, you've got anything, suggestions, let me know in the comments. But they have to fit these tactics, basically. So these are the kind of tactics I'm going to go for this season. The orange tree I'm going to stick with in goal. He's 50. It's not that much of a difference. The other guy's 53 and Naranjo's 50 rated. Not that much of a difference. And if we look at how my players are progressing in the last 7 days or current season. So this is current season, how my players have progressed so far. And my striker who I signed, Coca-Cola, he's gone up by 2. His overall rating has gone up by 2 already. That's crazy. 22 years old, and he's already gone up by 2 overall rating. And I'm really happy about that because he was my most expensive player that I bought. I also bought him a few hours after somebody already bought him for $10. But my thinking was, I think he's worth $12, and I think this guy just got a really good deal for him at $10. So I didn't let that put me off. Even though it was the same day, this guy bought him for $10, I then bought him for $12. So to see that he's already had like this nice little progression boost makes me feel better about spending that extra $2 on the same day. So he's gone up by 2, and Lucy, who I said is fighting with Baloney, they're both 58 rated now. Baloney's on loan, and Lucy's mine. So I can't, if Lucy's going up like this, +1 overall rating, dribbling's gone up by 1, passing's gone up by 1. I'm kind of thinking Lucy and Coca are already showing signs that they're going to develop quickly, that they're showing signs that they're on the way up. So I think I should probably give Lucy more game time. But I'm going to rotate him with Baloney because Baloney is on loan and it does have better passing stats, which is kind of what I got him for, 61 passing. But Lucy's passing stats are coming up. And then we have our centre-back who's on loan. He's gone up by passing. We've got Radic, our midfielder, on loan. He's gone up by pace. And our backup Cam, who hasn't played a minute for us yet, he's gone up by pace. So he's doing well in training. So my tactics that I'm playing... I've got the general width, so a normal width. I'm debating should I play more wide, but then I'm thinking if I go more wide, these wingers are going to be stretched out and I'm going to leave a bigger gap in the midfield. My football brain with this formation thinks that because it's a diamond in midfield with a left midfielder and a right midfielder, there's not much cover in midfield. So I don't want to make this too wide. However, would being more wide give me more attacking threat because these wingers could get forward and get more crosses in maybe? I don't know. So basically, I've kept the width the same. I've kept all of these as balanced, but directness is more direct. And the reason I did that was because I thought we don't have much cover in midfield. So I thought maybe it's better to go avoid the midfield centre and just be direct, go to the wings and just boot it straight to the strikers. That was my thinking. If that's wrong, let me know. And then with out of possession, we kept the depth as the neutral. We didn't change the depth, and we made ourselves more compact because I was playing a few preseason games, friendlies, and I was like, I had this on spread out and I had this on neutral and we were conceding a lot. And when I made us slightly more compact, I noticed our defense got a bit more tight and we were conceding less goals. However, now the season started, I've conceded 3 goals in my first game, 2 goals in my second game against weaker attacks. I don't know if the compactness is going as I thought, so maybe that needs to change. And then I've also kept all of these on general. I did have trigger press more often in preseason, but I noticed a lot of goals I was conceding were like defenders running out to the ball and then leaving a gap behind them, and then the player just passing it behind them. So that I put that down to maybe because they're trigger pressing. So I left that now on balance. So I've got everything basically on balance. All I've tweaked is the directness and the compactness. Do I need to tweak more? Is there anything obvious? Let me know. The other crazy thing I'm doing is this is my A team, right? This is my A team. My B team, so I've got an A team, a B team, and a defend as my preset tactics. My B team, I don't have a right midfielder. So what I'm doing, slightly crazy, is I've got this centre midfielder, Patterson. So what I thought, if for B team performances... Oh, there's a player I need to tell you guys about. I signed this guy, Everard, who I don't think I showed you in the last video. And I basically signed him because he looks like Olivier Giroud. Is that crazy? Am I playing MFL wrong? Everard. So basically, I needed a 4th striker. And how much did I buy him for? I bought him for $5. So I needed a striker, a 4th striker. So I was like, this is a striker who's not going to play that much. So I'm not going to pay more than $10 like I've paid for my starting strikers. I'll pay $5 or less. Then I saw this guy and I just fell in love with him immediately. He's called Everard. He looks like Olivier Giroud. He's left-footed like Giroud. He's French like Giroud. He's got a beard and hair like Giroud. I'm a Chelsea fan and I love Giroud. It was a no-brainer. Also, he's a little bit old, 26, but he's just been born in the MFL world at 26. So I didn't have any past data to kind of put me off buying him, because if I'd had like 3 seasons of past data where he hasn't been progressing, hasn't scored any goals for any other managers, I probably wouldn't have bought him. But because he's like brand new, in my head, he could be a late bloomer, like, say it with me, Giroud. So he's captain of the B team because I'm hoping he's going to be a late bloomer like Giroud at 26. You know, he could have a few more years. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. So in my B team formation, I just couldn't find a way of fitting them all together. So I was just like, okay, one player is going to have to not be in position and just suffer. And this guy, Patterson, he can't play centre midfield because I don't have a centre midfielder in this formation. and he's not great as a cam, and I've got a backup cam. So I thought what I'll do is I'll just play him right midfield, where he dropped a little bit, but not massively. He dropped by 8, right? And then what I'll do is I'll go in team instructions, and I'll tell my players to prioritize the left flank, where our left winger is the best player on the team. He's 58 rated, and even if this is baloney, but it probably should be the other guy. It should probably be Lucy, really. Lucy should probably be the backup winger because he's not on loan, but he's progressing nicely, Lucy. So I probably want to keep it as below. But either way, they're both 58 rated, so they're going to be the best player in this team. So I thought if I do my team instructions to prioritize the left flank, maybe we can just avoid Patterson altogether and just have him as a squad filler, and we just play down this wing. So that's my strategy with when I play the B team, is I'm going to just avoid Patterson and play with my best player on this wing. But yeah, let me know if I'm doing anything wrong with the tactics. This is my A team. This is how we're kind of lining up. Is there anything I'm doing wrong? Like, I can't be doing anything wrong, surely, because everything's on general, pretty much general or balanced. But perhaps with this particular formation, it needs certain things. So if you know that, let me know. That is how I've started Season 5. On my first game, I was really discouraged. I was like, I'm going to lose every game this season. MFL is really hard. But the second game I played, we won. The 85th minute winner. I'm feeling more upbeat about my team now. I've got the orange string goal, the 80 years old, 50 rated. Sure, it's a gamble. Sure, we're going to concede lots of goal. But maybe he'll progress, and maybe it'll be worth it. But yeah, that's how I'm doing so far. Let me know if you've got any ideas. Good luck with however you're doing it, fellow MFL managers in Season 5. Hope I don't see any of you in the Cup, which has just been drawn. We'll get to that next video. Next video, I might do it just before the Cup games. I'll see you next time on Planet MFL. Peace.